year. Was that an individual goal that you set out for ahead of the season, or do you feel like that just kind of happened naturally?
Well, thank you. And no, I don't really ever set goals based on individual accomplishments. I think individual accomplishments are a signification of great teammates and great people around you, great coaching staff who help you and put you in positions to succeed on the court. So really, every single day, I'm just trying to win the day, trying to compete, trying to get better, trying to lead, trying to gain everybody's respect, and ultimately just trying to do everything it takes to build a winning culture. And I think that was the main focus, and things just happen naturally along the way that you're extremely grateful for, and things that you want to share with the people around you who have helped mold you and help you get.
Okay, let's dive right in, because it really feels like someone is making a play for the crown in women's basketball. Or, you know, at the very least, trying to grab a piece of Caitlyn Clark's huge fan base. You've got to hear this. Paige Bueckers just gave an interview, and it sent massive shockwaves through the entire WNBA world. Everyone is talking about it and what it could mean for Caitlyn's next season. Paige dropped some super specific comments about her off-season plans. She talked about getting stronger. She talked about putting on muscle. And she talked about really working on her three-point shot. And of course, online, fans instantly started connecting those exact points to Caitlyn's own recent struggles after she changed her body. Let's be real, the timing of this feels a little too perfect, right? Almost like it was planned. Because of that, you just can't avoid the comparisons between these two superstars anymore. This one interview might actually change the whole debate about who really runs the game heading into next year. So I gotta ask, and I need you to tell me what you think in the comments. Is Paige being slick and taking shots at Caitlyn on purpose? Or is everyone just freaking out and reading way too much into a totally normal interview?
Is there anything that you want to add to your game going into year two? Your bag is already deep, but is there anything you want to work on, or is there a point of emphasis this off season?
I honestly, the easy answer is to say everything, but I feel like there's so many things I want to improve in every single area of my game. So just continue to get stronger, want to live in the paint a little bit more, get to the rim a little bit more, get to the free throw line more.
So, to get what's really going on here, we gotta break this whole thing down. Paige Bueckers did an interview with USA Today. And look, on paper, this should have been a super standard, boring off-season chat. But instead of giving those generic cookie-cutter answers, she said a few things that made everyone draw a straight line from her plans to Caitlyn Clark's very public struggles. The second page started talking about getting her legs back and focusing on building muscle endurance so she could last a whole grueling season. That's when the alarm bells started going off for fans. They immediately thought about Caitlyn's second season slump, where her game really took a dive. I mean, the way she phrased it, the parallels were just too specific to brush aside. So let's unpack it. We all know Paige just had an unbelievable rookie year with the Dallas Wings. She came straight from winning a national championship at UConn, won Rookie of the Year, and her talent is just off the charts. Nobody can argue with that. But it was during this interview, when they asked her what she wanted to add to her game for her second year, that her answer made everyone's eyebrows shoot up. She specifically said she wanted to get stronger, attack the paint more, and get to the rim. And then she dropped that bombshell. She said she wants to get her legs back and build that muscle endurance to survive a long season.
Just get my legs back, get my strength back, muscle endurance, so that I can last throughout an entire long season, last through an entire 4 quarters of a game, and then just continue to work on my mid-range and how to get to my spots in different ways. So yeah, kind of all that to say everything.
Now listen, that last part about endurance and muscle, that is exactly where this whole thing blew up. You have to get the context here. Caitlyn Clark famously packed on a lot of muscle before her second year in the WNBA. It was all over the news, but it seemed to just completely mess up her game. Her shooting percentages just cratered. You know, those signature deep threes from the logo, they just weren't dropping like we were all used to. She even looked different out there, and you could tell her rhythm was totally gone. So many people, analysts, fans, everyone, blamed that added muscle. They thought it ruined her shooting touch and her conditioning. So you can see why when Paige specifically mentioned getting her legs back and focusing on muscle endurance, people didn't just connect the dots, they screamed it. So here's the million-dollar question. Was Paige doing this on purpose? Throwing shade at Caitlyn? Or is this just fans being dramatic and inventing beef where there isn't any? I mean, on one hand, you could say every single pro athlete talks about getting stronger in the offseason. It's like the #1 thing they say. They all want to build up their bodies for a long season, nothing weird about that at all. But then again, the super specific words Paige used, getting her legs back, making sure she can last, it sounds exactly like the criticisms people had for Caitlyn's muscle experiment when it went bad. And get this, Paige also made it a point to say she's working on her three-point shooting. By itself, that's normal. Everyone wants to be a better shooter, but when you say that, and the person you're being compared to is maybe the greatest shooter in women's history, it really sounds like you're saying, I'm coming for that title. And whether she meant it or not, that's exactly how a ton of fans are taking it. The timing of it all is also a big deal. Paige just finished her rookie year with a trophy. Caitlyn just finished a really up-and-down second season after her own amazing rookie year. So right now, all the good press is going to Paige, while Caitlyn's the one getting tough questions. The contrast is huge. Paige is the rising star with unlimited potential. Caitlyn is the established star who might be in a slump. Some fans are even saying Paige is trying to steal Caitlyn's fan base, that she sees this as her chance to be the new face of the league, while Caitlyn looks vulnerable. Now, there's not a lot of real evidence for that, but it hasn't stopped people from running with the idea every single thing Paige says now gets picked apart for some hidden meaning. And it's getting a little crazy. The reality is, Paige Bueckers is trending more than Caitlyn Clark in some places online. And that is definitely bugging Caitlyn's fans. They're used to her dominating the conversation. Now there's real competition for the spotlight, and they're looking for any reason to make Paige out to be the bad guy. But here's the thing, the interview was about so much more than just her training. Paige talked about how great it felt to finally have a real offseason. She talked about missing the game, about how refreshed she feels. She said her 23rd year was one of the most peaceful of her life. None of that has anything to do with Caitlyn Clark, but the internet doesn't care. They just want drama. So they cherry-picked the quotes about muscles and decided Paige was sending some secret message. They set it up like Paige was learning from Caitlyn's mistake. They've turned this into some huge rivalry when it's probably just two incredible athletes trying to be their best. She also talked about going back to UConn to be a practice player for her old team. She was joking about being on the practice squad and not getting yelled at by Coach Ariema anymore and trash-talking her old teammate. It was all lighthearted. But even that got twisted into this narrative about her competitive fire versus Caitlyn's recent struggles. The Rookie of the Year award is another thing. Paige won it. Caitlyn won it the year before. They both deserved it. But now that Paige has the same award, fans are just using it as another point in their fake rivalry. They are trying so hard to make them enemies, even though there's no bad blood between them. When Paige was asked about individual awards, she gave the perfect answer. She said she doesn't set those kinds of goals because awards are really about having great teammates and coaches. She said she's just focused on winning each day and building a winning culture. It's the perfect humble answer. But you know what? Some fans twisted it into a shot at Caitlyn, saying she's too focused on stats, which is just absurd. Caitlyn has always been an amazing passer who makes her teammates better, but when you're looking for a fight, you'll find one anywhere. She also talked about handling adversity, coming from a national championship to a Dallas team that wasn't winning right away. She talked about being process-oriented, not results-oriented. It's great advice for a young player. But again, fans somehow made it about Caitlyn, suggesting Paige was criticizing how Caitlyn handled her team's struggles. It's exhausting. And then there's the sports psychologist. Paige said she's been working with one for 2 years, and it's helped her stay positive and focused. And of course, fans used that to compare how the two of them handle pressure. When she talked about what she wants to add to her game, it was a whole getting stronger, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, improving her three ball and her mid-range game. She wants to improve everything, like any elite player should. But because she said that one line about getting her legs back, that's all anyone focused on. To be fair, the comparison to Caitlyn's muscle situation makes some sense. Caitlyn definitely added too much bulk, and it hurt her game. So when Paige talks about having the endurance for a full season, It does sound like she's aware of what happened to Caitlyn, but here's the key. Knowing about something isn't the same as attacking someone for it. Paige might have just watched Caitlyn struggle and learned from it. That's just being smart, not being mean. That's just being intelligent about your own career. The idea that Paige is trying to steal Caitlyn's fan base is just so weird. Fans aren't a limited resource. You can like more than one player. In fact, the WNBA is better when there are multiple stars getting people excited. Paige's comments about staying level-headed were actually really insightful. She talked about her faith, about being grateful for everything, even injuries. She's got a really mature perspective that probably comes from her own injury history at UConn. The reality is this was a pretty normal off-season interview with a smart, professional athlete. She gave thoughtful answers and showed a lot of maturity. The fact that fans instantly made it about Caitlyn Clark says more about social media culture than it does about Paige. Everything has to be shade. Everything has to be a rivalry. Paige wants to get stronger, must be a shot at Caitlyn. It's just silly. The truth is probably way simpler. Paige Bueckers is an amazing player who wants to be even better next year. She's doing exactly what a pro should do in the off-season. And the fact that her plans can be compared to Caitlyn's experience doesn't mean she planned it that way. But now, whether she meant it or not, this interview has everyone choosing a side. The basketball world just loves to create rivalries, even if they aren't real. So if you think Paige is coming for Caitlyn's throne, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and you have to drop a comment with your prediction for both of them next season.